Starting off with number one, I would definitely say the people. Number one reason I like it here, people can be really, really nice. And yeah, sure, you can't just walk up and say hi to everybody and expect a really good response. You know, a lot of people try to just keep it moving, or, you know, go about their business, which, I mean, that's just how it is in a lot of places. But I've had a lot of people, even in my previous videos, just a wave in the background, or walking past the restaurant, people just say hi. And then the people that we met the first weekend we were here, you know, buying us drinks in the bars and clubs, just like so happy to see different people and wanting to make friends. And the Facebook group that we were in, I mentioned this in another video, very welcoming, definitely hooked us up, got us into places, and just made sure that we were okay. And, you know, I'm forever grateful for that. And just going to different places too, like, I don't know Spanish that well, and no one has gotten mad at me about that. They're just like, okay, let's try to figure out what he's saying. They even try to type in on my phone through Google Translate to help out. They even use like the voice command as well to communicate with me. And usually it's just kind of funny because I just say one phrase, pretty much lo siento, I'm sorry, or disculpe, which is excuse me. And, you know, as long as you try, I think you're not just shoving your phone in someone's face like, hey, this is what I'm saying, or read this or that. Just be respectful. And, you know, I think you get that respect back. And wherever we go from here, I'm going to try to just, you know, do the same thing. Of course, be a little bit more prepared, learn the language a little bit better. But I love the language, and I definitely like the people a lot here. Number two would definitely have to be the weather, to be honest. It's like perpetually 70, 80 plus here. And where I'm from in the US is Milwaukee. It's definitely cold around this time in October. We almost see snow. But this is my first time ever being in a place where it's 80 degrees in October. It's about to be Halloween and I don't have to bundle up. You know how crazy that is? And that's my favorite holiday. Being out here, just being able to go out and really enjoy the weather throughout the whole day. Just amazing. But honestly, being warm all the time, it just gives you energy, and, you know, there's more sunlight naturally, makes you feel better. It's nice to wake up here. You know, if you have certain issues, like if you live in the Midwest, you don't really get a lot of sunlight, and that can make people depressed or just sad. And, you know, that's just tough to get through the day that way. And it definitely affected me. But here I'm just like, you know, bursting with the sunshine. That's why I like to take the walks here, and it just helps me feel better despite, you know, things that I've been through. I'm like, hey, I'm here now. Let's try to live it up. One kind of goes without saying, but number three would be the food. And you can find restaurants everywhere. Like where I'm from, we saw liquor stores and bars and maybe like some churches on every corner or every few blocks. But here is just restaurants on every block. You can't walk anywhere without seeing at least one. And the food is good, especially the pizza and stuff, man. Like certain things are just so delicious, and I'm like pleasantly surprised. And not to mention, of course, you can get like 6 tacos for like $1 and some change. And sometimes, you know, it's a little bit more, but I mean, where can you get that in the US? Please tell me, because $1 can actually do something for me. It hasn't been that way since I was like in middle school, elementary school, going to the corner store, getting like bags of chips and stuff for 25 cents or whatever. But yeah, definitely really delicious. They're known for barbacoa, tacos, and tortas ahogadas, I believe it's called, which is like a drowned sandwich. It's like pork and onions, and they have like the sauce on it, and you pretty much just drown the sandwich and eat it. And the tejuino drink, that's something I still haven't tried yet, and I really want to. But we'll see if we can get to that. But yeah, like you can walk and get you something wherever for the most part. And, you know, it's made really fast too. This city has the fastest restaurant in the world. You talking about getting served within 10 seconds. Like the world record was like 10.3 seconds at this restaurant. And I mean, that's just really impressive. That's insane. Like I saw another guy's video, and he sat down, they took his order, and that's when the timer started. His food was brought out within seconds. It was just amazing. And number 4 is pretty simple. You can pretty much walk everywhere. Where I'm from, you needed a car pretty much to go anywhere, to Walmart, restaurants, anywhere pretty much important. But here you can walk everywhere and get anything that you need. Like I could walk to a Walmart if I really wanted to. Like, yeah, it's like a 27-minute walk, but that's doable. And then the Ubers are really cheap. Like you can get like $2-3. Like the most I paid for an Uber was like $7, and that was to go pretty far. And where I'm from, that's easily like $20+ every time. When I was still in the US and had to take Ubers or Lyfts to work, that was like $30 one way. So imagine spending like $60 a day just to get to work, to only make like maybe $150 for that day. So it's already almost halfway gone. Just crazy. And another thing that I love, which is number 5, it's very, very lively here. There's events going on all the time. There's people out and about at all hours. There's even like I think it's called the stagecoach, or like the horse rides out here throughout the street. So not only do you have the bikers, the cars, you have the horses out here too. Many different ways to get around, and it's very colorful. Like, I don't know, it's just, I walk around and then all the buildings are painted beautifully. Everything that you get is just full of color. It's kind of like being a kid again, where everything just kind of is significant. It stands out, and it makes you feel good, rather than just seeing black and gray white buildings and everything is just so bland. And I really do love that here. And that goes along well with like the music. You hear music all the time. Like I'm going past shops, they're playing uncensored music from like the US and everything, and they're other types of music too. And it could be just like a vitamin shop. They're turning up. I love that. I could just walk around and everywhere is pretty much a vibe. Of course, get into the cons. It can be a little dirty, and that's depending on the part of the city that you're in. That goes for pretty much anywhere. And I've been in some places that definitely weren't like the cleanest. Like, okay, you might see some trash out in the street, might see something that's not exactly living in the street. But these people, they do their best. Like, there's a ton of street vendors, they're hustlers, and they do literally sweep the streets with big brooms like every morning. I've been out there in early walks, just seeing them do that, and it's clean again, and they're ready to start it all over. So that's not really a big deal, you know. Just watch out for the sidewalks, because those could be like a little bumpy. Wear some good shoes and you good to go. Number 2 would definitely be the driving. It's crazy, just straight up. It's not like where I'm from, where the pedestrians have a little bit of more power. You gotta definitely watch yourself out here, especially with those bikers. They're coming zooming through, you know, red lights don't really matter. The way they work out here is, if there's a red light they're coming up to, they'll honk, or even if it's a green light, they'll honk, because people blow past the stop signs like nothing, and the red lights too. So yeah, just, hey, everyone's driving like that. I'm glad I'm not driving and walking everywhere. So like the air pollution, the high elevation, and I don't know if it's just me, but I find myself being way more like dehydrated here. And I'm not sure if that's just my body hasn't fully adjusted yet, but I'm drinking more water. When I'm out and about, my throat definitely gets dry. And normally I didn't have to worry about that at all in the US. But it's not even a huge deal. It's not like I'm coughing and sneezing or anything like that. Just a small difference. Hey, and drinking more water is always good for you. Except when it comes to the tap water. And we all know, for the most part, you can't drink the tap water in Mexico. And I don't drink tap water anyway, so that's not a big deal. I always drink bottled water. And they have big bottles of this purified water that you can get for pretty cheap, like $2, and that lasts you the whole week. Otherwise, you just go to the store and buy the little bottles of water, which are even cheaper. So, water quality tester, and like the worst is 500, and the tap water here, it was like 415 or something like that. So pretty high, but obviously you're not drinking that. You're probably just taking a shower, washing your hands, maybe brush your teeth or something. And that is another thing here too, since it's always like pretty much hot. They don't really have steady hot water. You might get some, warm hot water and stuff, but for the most part, it's gonna be maybe like lukewarm, cold, which ain't really a big deal either. It's just something to get used to. And the last one is that it can be kind of loud. I mean, if you don't really like that, depending on who you are, just know that, like I mentioned before, there's people out all hours of the day. You might hear dogs, certain animals, music, people, cars, you know, pretty late into the night. And where I'm from, I'm definitely pretty much used to that, so that wasn't a big deal. I can just sleep through it unless, you know, it's just something crazy. And I will say, I have not heard a single gunshot, which is just crazy to me, because where I grew up, yeah, you already know, just it definitely ain't fireworks. But here, didn't hear a single one. And like, again, with the animals and stuff, you might even see them just out and about, no leash and stuff, but they all seem well trained and not gonna bother you or anything like that. They might come up to you and sniff, but you know, big deal. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for now, and none of this stuff is a big deal to me. And for anyone who has visited, let me know if you kind of feel the same way about certain things, or if you just want to leave a comment and ask a question or talk about things. Definitely love being here, and every place, no matter where you go, gonna have its pros and cons. But I just thought, you know, for people that might be considering coming here, this might help out. I definitely consider it if you're like a people person and everything like that. I'm an introvert, but definitely trying to be more extroverted than a people person, and just be a little bit healthier too. So going for walks definitely help. Mexico's second most populated city, so if you like being around people, you like the liveliness, you like the big cities and stuff like that, definitely I would recommend it. Yeah, I haven't seen everything, but what I have seen I like. So other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Yesterday we had one, but now we have 2 members of our Patreon under the Real One tier. Thank you, White Star and James Thomas Sr. Y'all the best. I noticed something really disturbing after looking at the analytics. You know what that is? Boom! A lot of you aren't subscribed to the channel, so if you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. It keeps me motivated. I'll keep uploading. Y'all get to see some cool stuff. But 60%? What is going on? But I do appreciate the people who have subscribed. Thank you so much. One more thing, just one more thing. Yes, if you do want to subscribe and support us and like the video, we definitely appreciate that. But also, for you, if you want to become a patron and see your name in the next video, feel free to do so. We have different tiers, and I'll make sure your name is in there, and we do really appreciate the support. But yeah, we'll see y'all in the next one.